The 2022 midterm elections are roughly 25 weeks away, and it appears Democrats have some work to do. A brand new NBC News poll released this morning shows that 75% of registered voters believe that the country is headed in the wrong direction. But when registered voters were asked about their congressional preference for the midterm elections, it was tied at 46%. While that's not great for Democrats, it's still surprising that Democrats are tied with Republicans despite, well, everything. Joining me now, Democratic pollster and president of Lake Research Partners, Celinda Lake, and Rachel Bitecofer, political strategist and host of the podcast, The Election Whisperer. Thank you both very much for coming to the Sunday show. Rachel, let me start with you because I said in the tease a moment ago that leaked opinion, sort of abortion, has scrambled the political calculus for the midterms. One, I want to know, do you think that is true? And two, if it is true, why does abortion only land at number 4 in the list of top issues facing the American people in the latest NBC News poll?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to clarify that. I mean, it's really important to understand, number one, that abortion was not even in like the top 10 about 2 weeks ago in those top issues. So that's actually an improvement. And we should look at these polls that are coming out now as kind of baseline indicators. We haven't really seen the reaction, even though it feels titanic. And we're seeing protests all over the country, towns big and small. Multiple times now since that memo was leaked. Those are all indicators of a significant momentum opportunity for Democrats. They absolutely need to lean into it heavily and exploit it and understand that, in this polling data, when you look at the Roe question, especially, should Roe be repealed, only 30% of independents agree with that. 60-something% of Republicans, right? If Roe is eviscerated in the way that this memo indicates, and these trigger laws take into effect, we are going to start to see some really scary headlines. And that is what will bring it home to the normal, average American. A lot of them may have heard, the court, something about Roe, but when this becomes a reality in June and when we start to see the effects, it's a real opportunity for Democrats to lean in, make it about fundamental rights and control of your body, and highlight the sad, unfortunate things that happen when you don't have that power.
So, Linda, I would love your viewpoint. I mean, one of the things I've heard is that, abortion is not going to be that big a deal because, you're either for it or you're against it. And there are very few people who could be persuaded by this issue who wasn't already going to vote. What do you make of that?
Well, I make that conventional wisdom is wrong about 95% of the time, plus or minus 5%. Rachel's usually right. Or always right, but conventional wisdom is not. That's why you should listen to her podcast. I think this is game changing. Rachel's right. The Republicans have now done for us what we could not do for ourselves, which is mobilize Democratic voters. The most important problem with Democrats and Democratic women, you now see abortion tied for the top place. So Democrats are very energized around this issue. It's a deal breaker for them. And this isn't just your standard view on abortion. This is a right that has existed for 50 years. This is a slippery slope, which will then include contraception, investigating miscarriages, no more in vitro treatment, LGBTQ rights, interracial marriage. It's huge, and it will affect suburban women as well. So the Republicans have handed to us an issue that mobilizes our base and persuades swing women in the suburbs, college-educated women, younger women, and baby boomer women who, like myself, remember when abortion was illegal. This is not theoretical. We had friends, myself, I had a friend, we drove to Texas for an abortion from Montana. People remember those days.
So I hear both of you saying this is a motivator. The abortion issue is a motivator for the Democratic Party and the Democratic base. However, is it as much, if not even more so, of a motivator for the Republican Party and the Republican base to come out in equal numbers, if not more, in the midterm elections as a result of this?
Well, the interesting thing about that is, first of all, the Republicans were already supercharged, right? We saw that in the Virginia and New Jersey elections. They were already supercharged. And what's really interesting in the most recent data is that while Democrats' energy has gone up, Republicans' energy around the abortion issue has actually declined because apparently, rightly so, they feel we've got this dealt with. We've got the court. So we're fine. We're going to focus on other things. So actually, I would have thought it would have energized both sides, but our side was the one that needed energizing. In fact, the Republicans' energy is declining.
And Rachel, your view?
Yeah, Jonathan, I mean, Celinda is exactly right. And Celinda, thank you so much for that kind compliment. It's like hearing you're a good Catholic from the Pope. So really, so much. But no, this is exactly right. We had two problems. Democrats, the left, the pro-democracy contingent of the electorate had two major hurdles to overcome to have any chance of winning this midterm effect cycle. One of them was enthusiasm. Check mark, right? That has been taken care of. We will now be able to pump. People are going to be single issue focused on the issue of women's bodily autonomy and fundamental rights for all of these marginalized groups. So that's taken care of. And the other thing that we needed to do is we had to have a brand versus brand comparison to go up against the Republicans and make the cycle a referendum on them. Force independent voters to be looking at the modern Republican Party. And you could not possibly illustrate like what a theocracy and autocracy under Republican rule will look like more for women and people of color in this country than this leaked memo and this decision that's coming. So we really get assisted in the two areas that we most needed an intervention in. And, you know, it's not to say that we're celebrating at all. I know all three of us are crushed, right? But at the end of the day, this was a bought and paid for decision that they got when they stole the Merrick Garland seat. And now they're going to find that the abortion politics have flipped around. And it doesn't surprise me at all. Losers get energized, guys. That's the whole, you know, fundamental component of negative partisanship. You aren't really motivated when you're winning, though the Republican machine is very good at artificially making people who are winning feel like losers. So.
And we're going to have to leave it there. And I'm sad we're completely out of time because I really wanted to ask about Cassie Barnett in Pennsylvania and whether she's going to win that Pennsylvania Senate primary. Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think she's going to win that primary.
I'm not sure. A good chance.
Oh, wow.
I think she's got a good chance.
Okay, she's got a good chance, says Rachel Bitecofer, along with the election forecasting pope, Celinda Lake. Thank you both very, very much.